Io volevo sapere a questo punto invece Janet che esperienza ci dà in merito. Janet ha un'esperienza, mi sembra di capire, quantomeno, ok, inglese, ma quantomeno su Gran Bretagna e Galles, UK e Galles, giusto? Specifica. E quindi volevo capire un po' in Inghilterra, dove evidentemente abbiamo la stessa impostazione soprattutto per lo sviluppo rurale, no? Questo è l'aspetto di cui lei soprattutto si occupa, abbiamo lo stesso framework di riferimento, ecco come loro hanno costruito la domanda valutativa e il disegno di valutazione, se c'è stato per esempio un percorso partecipato oppure no, ecco, ci puoi raccontare un po' quello che sai dell'esperienza inglese?
Ok. Thank you, Simona. I think it's important to start by saying that the UK has a culture of evaluation of programs which began before the European framework was designed. So what I perceive in the situation in England and Wales now is that we have, if you like, a very active stakeholder community, which is very interested to always monitor in an ongoing way the performance of policy. And some of the stakeholder organizations, they do their own evaluations of the policies. At the same time, the government administration has a requirement in the UK law to evaluate any project or program. And then on top of this, we have the European requirement. So for us, it becomes an issue of how to coordinate and to make the best use of all these different sources of expertise in one unified way. And I think we still don't have this perfect. But I think reflecting on our experience, what is valuable is that we start from a position of seeing evaluation as something which matters to everybody. It's not just a technical exercise, and it's not just something which we have to do for the Commission. We do it because there are very active stakeholders who want to know what the programs are delivering, and they have their own views. And therefore, the process of the formal evaluation has to somehow incorporate these knowledges from different sources of evidence. It's not simply a process which is controlled, managed, and delivered by scientific experts. It has to articulate, it has to communicate with a wider range of interests. And I think we have some interesting experience from that. I think when I travel in other European member states, particularly in those newer member states, you sometimes find that evaluation is very much just a technical exercise which is only really controlled by the managing authorities and the professional evaluators. And the rest of civil society doesn't have much of a role. And I think this is a pity, because at the end of the day, the purpose of evaluation is to learn, is for everybody to learn, you know, are these policies, is this expenditure of public money delivering what everybody wishes to see delivered from the policies? So it has to be a process which communicates. Communication of both the design and the results of evaluations is very important.
Grazie Janet. Una cosa non molto interessante è il fatto che gli stakeholders di fatto abbiano già esperienze proprio di valutazioni proprie, che vedremo anche Alessio Terzi che ci può raccontare su cittadinanza attiva la loro esperienza di valutazione civica, che credo sia un'esperienza abbastanza simile, e che di fatto sembra quasi proprio questa esperienza di cittadinanza o comunque di valutazione diretta da parte della cittadinanza rurale, che in qualche modo abbia spinto anche, no, la domanda alla formulazione di una domanda valutativa un po' diversa. Dal punto di vista, ora tu dicevi probabilmente ancora non si è raggiunto il massimo del coordinamento fra queste diverse forme di expertise, no? Che comunque sono andate maturando e che quindi hanno accresciuto quella che tu giustamente hai chiamato una cultura valutativa abbastanza diffusa, no? A livello territoriale, a livello di stakeholders, cosa che probabilmente ancora qui siamo un po' lontani dal maturare. Però ecco, quello che mi viene in mente è, allora, Poi nel costruire disegni valutativi su per esempio i PSR, di fatto c'è stata una forma di migrazione, ecco, di queste della domanda degli stakeholders sui valutatori del PSR o c'è ancora questa differenza avvertita, ecco, tra quella che è una domanda di valutazione derivante dal framework comunitario, dall'obbligo, ecco, del framework comunitario, e quella che è la valutazione un po' più territoriale?
I think every member state is required to follow to some extent the common monitoring and evaluation framework. So there is a challenge for evaluation to bring together the European level requirement with the demands of the stakeholders at the local level. I think at the moment we have not the best balance across Europe in respect of these two needs, the European level and the domestic level. My perception is the European level at the moment is very strong, and the domestic level is not very strong in many countries. And that what this means is that there is a risk that evaluation becomes a process which is only for the needs of the Commission, and which misses the opportunity to be meaningful for local stakeholders. I think that in thinking how to bring these things together, I could give you an example. With the ex-post evaluation of the England Rural Development Programme, the specification for the evaluation, which was written by the managing authority, included 3 elements. One was the formal following of the CMEF, the common framework, in order to furnish the measures as required by the legislation at European level. There was a second element, which was about meeting the needs of the programme steering group, the programme monitoring committee. So this is where the stakeholder groups came together, and they set their own set of questions which they would like to be examined. So this was a second element in the evaluation design. And then the third element was to look forward. So there was a third element which was about, so what does this mean for the next programme? How can we think about a different way of approaching the rural development challenge, bearing in mind what we learned from the first 2 processes? And I think that was a good way to try and ensure that one evaluation exercise was not just meeting the Commission's needs, but was also meeting the needs of the local interest groups, and was looking forward and helping the policymakers in designing the next programme.